Oh, there you are. Thank you for joining us today on this special painting show. Painting therapy. We've got a lot to cover today, so I'm just going to jump right on in here. I'm going to grab our cad orange first and put it in this little paper bowl. Just a little bit there. I actually want a lot of orange today compared to the other colors. We're going to do a little bit of burnt sienna and some red. And we are going to put this right onto the canvas with some terpenoid odorless paint thinner added, but not too much. I want to keep it a little bit more minimal. So here's our paint thinner. We're going to open that up. And I've got this brush that I found on the garage floor a couple weeks ago. We can just use this. A little bit of paint thinner. Mix that together. Look at that vibrant color. Let's come up here. That's what I want. The most vibrant orange you can imagine. I just want to scrub that in here. Very vibrant. Less paint thinner than I normally use on this first coat. And more orange. Really want that orange feel. I'm loving it. All right, let's just work this in here. Let's just see if we can make this. Oh, shoot, the canvas fell. Shoot, let's put that back. Oh, shoot. Ah, come on. All right, there we go. Well, you can make this work if I just hold it right. I need to get a new easel, one that actually works. Let's just do that for now. There we go. All right. There we go. Covering the whole thing, the edges, all of it. Oh, there we go. And the back. Man, I need to fix this easel. There we go. Oh, that's one orange canvas. This is exactly what I want. Ooh, now I'm gonna go like this. I want a slight texture on this. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I definitely need a new easel. Let's put a texture on this thing here. All right. Whoa, shoot. I'll get this secured in a minute, I promise. But I'm having fun. And that's all that matters when we're doing art. Are we enjoying ourselves? This is my idea of a good time, folks. My idea of just a good time. There, on to the next step. Let's see if we can secure this again. Come on, thing. It broke on me recently, and I've tried to be fixing it, but it's just not working. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands. To wash my hands, I use Fast Orange. I really love this soap. It's my favorite soap ever, and I definitely need to wash my hands. Well, there we go. I'm gonna see what happens if we just wipe this down a bit, just as an experiment. Just in this corner here. You know what? Let's do this. Let's wipe down some of this, but not all of it. Let's do something like that. Yeah, let's just get up some of this paint, especially towards the base here. This will all make sense. I'll explain what I'm thinking here as we go on. I'll explain as we go. But, needless to say, this painting is gonna be fun. Vibrant and exciting. And if you're watching the full YouTube video here, you saw the thumbnail, so you know what it is. But, all right. Just getting off a little bit of that extra paint. I like that texture. That's fun. Kind of like leaves. We're going to be painting some leaves today. All right, that'll be good. All right, I'm putting on this black glove. I've got this blue paper towel that I like, and we're just going to get started here. So today we are going to be painting from memory. I do this once in a while. Just something, okay, I didn't take a photo of this, okay? Didn't have my phone with me, but I looked up and I saw these translucent yellow leaves that were about to fall off the tree because they were pretty much dead. And the sun was shining through them. And there were some leaves that were kind of shading other ones. So there was like 3 tones of like yellow and orange. And there was this bright blue sky. And anyway, that's what I'm going to be keeping here today as we try to recreate this simple memory. And it's really about these colors. And I'm excited. So this is what I did. I went to Home Depot and I got a bunch of free color squares. Shh, don't tell anybody. So these are some different colors that I picked up that I thought looked good. So I want to have like some dark branches and a blue sky and see some different tones for the leaves. So, you know, we're going to be using this as a kind of a color reference. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to look at it once in a while. And so that'll be kind of like the colors that we use here today. So now what I want to do is work on this sketch. So let's grab this bowl that we had here before. I'm going to put some burnt umber in here and a little bit of blue. Burnt umber and blue. And I'm going to make I just want to do a detailed, well, not super detailed, but, you know, a nice sketch here today with some dark, crisp lines. That's what I feel like. So burnt umber and blue make kind of a little bit of a nice black. We'll take some of this terpenoid odorless paint thinner here again. We'll add some of this paint thinner here. Just with our brush, not too much. All right, that'll get us going for now. Okay, so just mixing these a little bit more here. Just having a little pile here in the corner that I keep going back to. I'll add a little bit more terpenoid. It evaporates. And if you're using a medium like this to start yourself off, you know, have a studio with a fan, with a ventilation system, or paint outside. That's probably the safest. Oil paints aren't without risk. All right, so I'm holding this bowl just to have it handy with my color here. And we are going to start sketching some branches. So let's have one kind of start here. Kind of like this. Go kind of like that for now. See, just little lines at a time. That's how it all starts. We're going to bring this branch up. Go like this, like that, and over. Okay. Ta-da! Our first little line. Okay. Let's do the kind of the top part of this branch. Something like this. Like this. Coming like that. Getting a little bit thinner as we go. Going higher up. Kind of refining that part there. And let's do this. Let's have this kind of have a little, and then it can go like that. So that's kind of an idea of a branch here. We can have kind of another guy coming off of it. Just imagining what little twigs are like, you know? What do they do? So this painting, though, yeah, is going to be easy. A good first painting if you're just starting out. Let's do another one coming off of it like this. Just there. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I love these liner brushes. It's a liner brush. You can get a lot of nice detailed sketches done with this. There, that's fun. Let's have a little guy that was cut off right there. There. And maybe another from behind here coming up. Just focusing on what would be coming off of this first branch. Just laying in our basic idea. Let's have a little guy coming off of this. Kind of coming like this. It's fun to imagine these compositions. So what I'm really going for is a bunch of leaves, and we kind of see some sky through it. So as we go, let's just kind of fill out the composition and make sure that certain areas are looking nice and kind of takes care of itself. Nice. Kind of coming apart, these two here. Just whoop. That's nice. Oh, that's great. This is fun. I love sketching like this, and just especially limbs. It's so enjoyable and easy, you know? Anyone can do this. See, that one is a little bit thicker. Now I'm going to make this one thicker. Good, good. Let's make this a little bit more complicated. We'll have one coming off here. And one coming off here. And we're doing these so that way we can know where to put leaves later. Attach leaves to all these. Okay, let's do another big branch. I'm going to add a little bit more paint thinner to this bowl. This is fun. Kind of like an ink sketch. I love doing ink sketches. Don't like sketching with pencils for some reason. Like ink. All right. Let's do another one kind of in this area going up. So it can start here and we can kind of just have it go that way and then, you know. Sometimes it's fun to start going one direction with these branches and like, oh, just change your mind. I think that's what the branches do. Ooh. All of the middle of these is going to be filled in. So we can just kind of, that paint was running, so that's fine. We'll just fill that in. Okay. Let's keep going. We'll kind of add something coming off of it like that. Fun. And one coming off this way. We'll have it go up. Nice. I like it. Let's have one coming off of this through here behind that one. Sort of like this. Nice. And then it can kind of get, you know, start going that way and get smaller. Break off. Nice. All right. Let's have one. Let's have a big branch, kind of starting here and then going all the way to the corner. I really want to occupy this middle section here. So let's kind of go like this. Kind of coming up. Ooh. There we go. And then like that. And then kind of coming this way and going up. And coming back down, we can kind of start making bottom of it. Kind of deciding on the size of this one. There, that's nice. And then coming off of it like this. All good. You know, there's something about these random designs. When we're painting nature, there's a sort of beautiful, haphazard, unpredictable nature to these limbs. And saying that this is beautiful is a message. This is what I find beautiful and what I want to paint. And echoing, studying, appreciating, paying tribute to the forms that we find in nature, the seemingly pointless forms, these limbs and their just complete randomness. It is inspiring. And so as we look at, someone asked me recently, how do your trees, they just kind of look like trees. Well, I look at a lot of trees. Spend a lot of time looking at trees when I'm around just doing anything. I just find myself getting caught looking at trees. So doing that helps. That definitely helps. Ooh, let's have this come off that way too. Oh, that's fun. And we can kind of add some more complicated little guys here and there. Ooh. We're looking up. We're underneath the tree looking up. Let's add a little things on this guy. Just little extras. Little areas for little leaves to be coming off of. Let's have this one bigger. You know what? I don't want anything there. Put some leaves there later. All right. I think I'm liking this. Let's put like a big, healthy, kind of bigger branch, kind of through here. Kind of show some more strength. There. That's nice. Simple. Let's have one kind of coming off this way. I want some more of that. Kind of like that. There. Wonderful. Just little guys growing off of that. Great. Great, let's add some burnt umber to this now, kind of in the other corner. The reason why I use this is because sometimes with this paint thinner, it's just easier to hold something and have it contained, instead of using the palette. We'll use the palette later. Adding some more paint thinner to this, we're going to use this burnt umber and just kind of go inside of all of these limbs and just block them in. Block in this deep value right here. All the middle of all these branches just going around. You know what? I think I want to use a different brush now. I've got this other one here that I like for stuff like this. It's just like a filbert. I don't even know what this is. I literally have no idea what this is. Don't care. I think I've had it for a long time. All right. There. Look at that. Just filling in all of these different branches. Getting this value right is important for later. We will be able to add detail, shape, really make these branches look more three-dimensional. Something important for this painting will be to keep them dark, because if you really want to communicate that bright feeling and make these leaves look very bright, other values in the painting need to be darker than normal. And you'll kind of see that later as we paint this, but it's very important to remember that if you want things to appear brighter, you're going to need to make things look darker too. Coming behind here. Oh, that's fun. Very fun. Kind of Japanese in tradition. Japanese painters were definitely the first to do beautiful works focused on small moments of nature. That Eastern mindset, very different than the Western world at the time, painting royalty and kings and portraits of famous people. And then in Japan, they're painting nature. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago. A beautiful tradition. Van Gogh picked up on it. He really liked that. He never got a chance to go to Japan, but he worked in Arles, France, because he heard it kind of seemed like Japan in terms of the weather, but it's the closest he ever got. Just filling in these values. Any drips here, they don't matter, because we're going to be going over all of these other areas with our colors. That's just to be expected. And we work with things like that. These kind of moments happen, that's fine. We can work with them. Any of these branches we want to reshape later, we can. With the sky, we're going to kind of reshape them a little bit. Just unpredictable, don't even, and the only way to do that is to not think. If you're trying to kind of mimic the way nature does it, Don't use that thinking mind, that analytical mind. You got to tap into that kind of more just spatial aware mind. You're just aware, but you're not thinking about anything in particular. That's where artists are. And unfortunately, that's not what they focus on in school. When you're going to art school, they don't focus on that enough, where your head is. Because then, of course, original, creative, wonderful art is going to come out of that. Correct headspace. Yes, there is training and practice and all that, but really, it's about where you are mentally when you're painting. That's what it's all about. Let's have that go up there. I like that. You know what? I want this to kind of go off like that. Oh, let's do that. Let's just do a twisting action here. Why not have something unique here? Look at that. That's just great. Okay. I'm really loving this. So now, let's start sketching in our leaves. All right, let's take this fresh new bowl. Let's put in some burnt sienna into this bowl and some red. We are going to sketch these leaves, and I want them to look just very punchy and vibrant. I want the outline of them to be vibrant. You'll see why later. All right, we're going to add some paint thinner. We don't even clean this brush, really. Just whatever's on there can stay. Good, good, good. Mix those together. That's just great. Wonderful. Something like that consistency here. Like it. I'm going to switch brushes, just this. Got this little brush with hardly any bristles. It's kind of fun. It's almost like a little stick. So I'm going to hold this container here and just sort of start putting in where I think leaves would be. Let's kind of start working here in this corner here. Let's so look at this. We can kind of extend some of these and say, okay, well, there's our first leaf. Something like that. There. Cute little guy. Each one is going to get some attention, you know. Each leaf. That's the kind of painting we're going to do. A lot of little leaves here. Oh, see, these are kind of behind. That one's behind these. Okay. And something like that. And I really don't want them to look like they're drooping down. I want to be looking up, not like it's just flat. That's important. Let's see here. Let's just add a lot more. Sometimes I've noticed when I'm doing these sketches, if I do kind of more angular shapes on these leaves, it just ends up looking better. Ooh, let's do one like that. Just a little bit more angular. You're imagining them. And some of these, let's kind of do sideways, like they're growing like that, see? And there. Some of them are behind other ones. Nice. And if you're painting along, this is the fun part. You can't mess up, and there's just so many little areas where you can put leaves. It's good leaf practice for you if you don't paint leaves very often. Let's just do a bunch of these shapes here. The more random, the better, because these leaves really can get into the weirdest little shapes. It's going to fill in this whole area. There, let's put some through here too. There. See that? It's fun. Adding a little bit more paint thinner to this bowl. Every step of painting is fun. Play time. Time for us to really enjoy ourselves. But we need to find our own steps. The parts about it that we enjoy, let's emphasize those. You know, do those more often. You know? I like the sketching on the canvas. Other artists don't. They don't want to do this. They do a different method, and that's great. You know, we all want to have different methods of working. So we kind of have some star leaves in the front, but then, you know, some other ones that are just kind of behind those. There. Places where the sky is going to come through, and places where we won't see the sky. You know, art is therapeutic because it places our minds on things that we normally don't consider. We don't think about leaves enough. And I've heard once, years ago, and I love this, I don't remember where I heard it, but someone said, life is like a video game with a really boring plot, but great graphics. Pay attention to the graphics, you know, in life. And painting is just a good opportunity to do that. That's simple. That's the value of it. That's the true value of painting in our human lives. It can focus our attention when we look at it, when we watch other people paint, or when we're painting. It's just a wonderful thing. Just letting these leaves kind of pop into existence. Different marks that I'm going to use later. I know this doesn't look necessarily good, but that's not the point. That's not the point at all. Point is, first of all, am I having a good time? But second, is this sketch here really helping me understand what I'm going to paint later? Just these fun marks. That's just great. Each one will be a different tone, different leaf with a slightly different, you know, tone to it. Make it look like we're seeing through. I want a lot of leaves up here. I want a lot. Some in front of these branches, you know, some behind. But areas where the sky is seen and other areas where we don't see the sky. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I am just too excited. I really want to get working on putting on some of this blue sky down. So let's do that. Gonna take a slightly bigger brush. Hey, before we do that, let's talk about our colors we're gonna use today. It's color time. Let's put this away for now. We have all of these pretty colors, and really this is probably overboard, but I don't care. I just like these. They're my friends, you know, that care about these colors. First, we have titanium white. This is used when I think, you know, you can either grab burnt umber or titanium white when you're trying to, you know, for a lot of these colors, when you're trying to change the value. This is burnt umber, very, very dark brown. To make a black, we can use burnt umber and Prussian blue. Beautiful, deep, not boring black. And then burnt sienna. This is a good earthy, thick, reddish tone, reddish brown. I use that when I want to tone colors more to the reddish side and keep that very, very thick, earthy viscosity to the paint. It's very matte. Oh yeah, cad red, cad orange. These are important colors. Just for bringing colors the other way, you know, kind of controlling where colors are going. If I need to make a sharp turn, you know, that's where I go. And let's throw in some yellow ochre. We're definitely going to be using a lot of that. Ooh, look at that thick color. All these colors I choose specifically Not only from Gamblin, and I'm not sponsored by them, but I choose these colors because of their thickness. Most of them are very, very thick. Okay, remember, we have these beautiful colors. So let's mix up this lighter blue first. That'll be kind of like we're looking up at the sky, but that's kind of more at the horizon a little bit more. Let's just kind of split the tone between these two, really. So we can hold this right here. You guys can do this. You can get colors from the hardware store and make them look any way you want. See that? How different that is? I thought these looked good together, you know. But though that's not the same. Look, we can add some yellow to it. Add more white. Add more Prussian. We're going to use a lot of this. Let's add some yellow ochre. Sometimes it's good to mix this up with a palette knife, but I don't want to do that. Good color. I like it. Okay, let's start up here. I want to lay in exactly where we're going to see sky. Let's just choose, and we're going to lay in some thick paint. Where we're going to see sky. See that? Boom. Let's kind of see between these two limbs. Let's see sky right here. Being confident with these strokes, a bigger brush here that I grabbed. Big filbert brush. There. Just some big confident sky strokes. I'm liking that. Boom. Let's put in some more. Let's kind of put one right here. Nice. And across here, we don't need too many. Just here and there. And we can choose this now and sort of just paint leaves around them. Justify these marks later. Put one there. Some areas it's fun to say, hey, look, we can really show off some of these interesting areas with the twigs by putting a sky kind of behind some of those areas. Put some there, here, in there. Put some there. Where are we seeing the sky through these leaves? Let's put one there. And now, I mixed up a dark blue. I said this before. This is darker than a sky is. Okay? Mixed up a dark blue because I want these leaves to look like they're just positively glowing in the sun. And I've learned over the years that that's the way to do it. I like it. Let's just put some more random marks there. Some right through here. Let's put one through here. We'll refine some of these areas later. Keeping this a loose painting though, you know? Quick ideas, simple. And again, a style of painting that anyone can do, honestly, if you just want to do it. Make pretty pictures like this. Ooh, let's fill in all of this. Let's say this is all sky. All of that. Boom. Vibrant blue. Man, that's punchy. Man, boom. Vibrant, man. I love the contrast, and that's why we did orange here. First of all, because it's just beautiful to look at in contrast with this blue. But I want that warmth energy to be vibrating in the background on areas that aren't really, painted. That's just like a base, like a warm base. And that's a fun thing to do, and to vary that color that you choose. And choosing that base color is a fun thing. All right. Ooh, I love this. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Grab the rest of this Prussian. There we go. Yellow, yellow ochre. Keep going. Let's fill in all this. Big strokes, just using all that paint. It's just the sky. Let's not think too much about it. Let's just put it down, you know? It's fun that way. Grab some more Prussian here. Keep this mixture going. There. White. Burnt sienna. More Prussian. Beautiful. More white. Yellow ochre. Burnt sienna. Beautiful. A little bit lighter. There. Ooh, I love it. A lot of energy in that sky. A lot of power. All the way to that corner there. Just haphazard marks going up to these leaves. You know what I think I want to do to balance this corner out? I want to put like some leaves from another tree that you would see in the background here. So let's not really touch this area yet with blue paint. Let's just kind of go around an idea of, there could be something kind of back there in the corner. So no sky there yet. We can refine this though, and we'll put in more of this blue. Always keeping in our minds that idea of looking up and seeing that vibrant sky and the sun going through these leaves. Today I was outside with my son in our backyard, and I saw the sun just so hard on his face. He was talking to me, and I thought, you know, my son's gonna grow up and he's gonna be a man. He's only 10 right now. He's gonna grow up. He's gonna change faster than I would ever care to think about. But that sunlight, I can live a good old age and I'll still see that sun. And I love it. I love our earth, and I love the way it looks, and I love the beauty of it. I'm enthralled by the beauty of the earth. Absolutely love it. Okay. Nice. Well, let's start painting some of these fun leaves. I'm going to grab this brush we had earlier, kind of clean it on this paper towel. I want a bunch of yellow. Let's get a bunch of yellow and put it right here. And orange. Mix those together. Ooh, yellow and orange just go nuts. Let's grab a bunch of that. Ooh. Beautiful. Oh, man. Let's add some white to that. This gets my heart going. See our color here. I don't love it, but I think it's close to what I want. Let's add some more orange to this. If you want to check a color, you can do this. You can put it on it. See how close that is? It's not exact, but that's pretty close. All right. Let's start having fun. We'll put this in. I think this will be like a maybe one of the darker colors, but not the darkest leaf. See, when we're putting these leaves down, we can kind of go around these sketches. Just kind of fill in each one. Just thinking, oh, there's a leaf. We can put a lot of paint on some of the leaves that we want to feature more. We could put less paint on other parts. There. Oh, this is delightful. So fun. The feeling of looking up and seeing these leaves. That's what we're trying to do here. Any of that blue gets on my brush, I clean it as best I can. It does make these go slightly green, which is okay. Leaves that aren't quite as dead. But let's keep this color vibrant and clean. And with oil paints, we do need to do that quite often. We need to clean off our brush because the oil, these colors really start to blend with each other and cause problems. You got to know when they need to blend with each other and when you don't want that to happen. There we go. It's just thinking, okay, well, this guy's kind of behind that twig there. Oh, let's fill him in. There. Just grabbing random ones that grab your attention. Not thinking about it too much. There. Could do this leaf. And another one. Some of them can have more paint than others, more attention than others. Again, the attention that you give as an artist is seen by the viewer. They see where you looked and what you cared about. And if you cared about the whole thing uniformly, they'll get that impression that you cared about every little part. If it's a quick, hurried painting like this is going to be, it'll look, whoa, they did that quick. They wanted to go fast, didn't they? Just little marks here and there. But confident, angular strokes for these leaves. Big strokes. But yeah, you kind of made a paint by number here for yourself. You know, you go to the hardware store, you get some beautiful colors that are just vibrant. And you do a little sketch and you fill them in. Can't go wrong. Van Gogh would do that. He had a box of string, and he would audition different colors by putting the string together and seeing what it looked like. We can get creative and, find our own process. Every artist does that. They actually go out and they find the way they like to work. And that is the most enjoyable part, finding your method and discovering, hey, this is who I am. This is the way I like to work, and being okay with it. It's a big part about being an artist. Okay, let's mix up another orange now, just for fun. Let's do some yellow. Let's actually do kind of a more yellow, brighter. Much, much brighter. Let's try that. Let's get some more white here. Put a bunch of it right there. I'll put some right there too, since we're going to use that. This is an impasto painting. I'm using a lot of paint. And years ago, I used to, conserve paint a lot more, but it wasn't fun. I decided that I wanted to be a crazy, crazy painter that just used all the paint he wanted. Not worry about it. A little bit of yellow ochre from back there. Ooh, there we go. That's perfect. Actually looks a lot like that color there. Very similar. All right. Let's kind of come up here and sort of place in some bright. Ooh, look at that. Brighter yellow marks. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Man. I get so excited about these different colors working together and what they do. Colors in relationship with each other. What are they doing together? 2, 3, 4, 5, all the colors you add. What's happening? How does it change them? So this one here, let's illuminate part of it. I think that'll make sense later. I want some of these to have sections that are brighter. Like there's light passing through leaves and getting to some and not to others. Just random squares, patchwork kind of feel. Let's put one back here. Ooh, look at that. And this orange underpainting is kind of that vibrating, warm edge on all of these leaves. Fun. Let's put some back here. Just fill this area in with different different squares. Really get just kind of modern art with this, you know? As long as we can communicate that feeling, we've done our job. We can have as much fun as we want, as long as we accomplish our goal. And it's good to accomplish a goal when you set out with a painting. I want this painting to feel like you're, you know, I want you to feel like you're there, like your neck is strained and you're looking up and you're going, wow, look at those leaves. So if we can accomplish that goal and give us the feeling of what it's like, not exactly if it looks like it, but this makes our brain think, oh, I know what that was like. That's what I want. Okay, some of these brighter parts, just putting them in, letting that paint be thick. Oh, that's great. All right, let's keep experimenting. Let's mix up a darker, let's do yellow, let's do burnt sienna. And let's add a little bit of this yellow to it. Well, let's grab it from over here. Yellow and burnt sienna. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's think about this. That's so thick too. Okay, so I want some leaves to kind of be doubled up. The sun's not getting through. I want to add some red to this. A little bit more red. The sun's not getting through. It's not getting through to all of these. So there's these dark marks on some of the leaves. There. Some dark marks, some light marks. These are leaves that are not illuminated as much. We can just choose to put one there. We can have one here. And parts of leaves, little sections of them, like not the whole thing. Part of that leaf there. Part of that one. Boom. Man, this is fun. Let's just keep having a lot of fun today. This is going to be different and exciting. Let's just start putting in more of these dark leaves. We can put one through right here. It's just choosing. It does not matter. You know, what we choose to do here. Can't mess up. Ooh, let's go over that one with that darker leaf there. Just different patchwork ideas. Let's add some red to it. Change it up just a little bit. Burnt sienna. There we go. We can add a dark mark there, there. And up here. Add some more orange to it. More yellow. There we go. Look at that dark mark. More up here. I think less light is getting through some of these areas up here. Fun. And this orange underpainting is the key. It's giving all of this excitement. If we would have started with white, it wouldn't have all that excitement. Oh, okay. Some back here. And let's have this guy. Dark. And right over here we can have a few kind of marks, different areas. Fantastic. Okay, let's do more just of these lighter leaves, you know? Just kind of finding them, putting them in, mixing more of that up there. Okay,
Let's just put one in here. Start defining where these are. Again, adding more paint to some, less to others. Wherever we want the eye to go. Not all the way up to the other colors either. Oh, I got a little bit of blue on the brush there. I'm wiping it off. A little bit of blue will change this a lot. Let's add a leaf there. You know, it's funny. I don't even know what kind of tree it was that I was looking up at. Don't even know. I don't know much about trees. I see them all the time and I don't have words for them, and I kind of want to keep it that way. We'll see what happens. But, you see, I haven't always been interested in nature. Started painting. I started noticing and loving nature. I'm going to go over this one just partially. There. Just started loving nature and noticing it more and more and caring about it. Art can do that to us. That's the value. So it doesn't matter if we make money with our painting. That's what Van Gogh taught us. That doesn't matter. What matters is, are we having a good old time? Are we enjoying ourselves? Are we living the life that we want to? It's okay to live the life you want to. Don't hurt anybody. Be nice to people and live the life you want to live. Not the life your spouse wants you to live or your parents want you to live. Live the life that you want to live. That's hard for some people. It's very hard. Freedom is hard. Now, that doesn't mean hey, you can have a family and children or whatever and still live the life you want to live. And you know, sometimes we have to do things in our lives that we don't want to do, spend time doing things. But we can prioritize our artistic life. We can spend time doing what we like to do. And we don't need to feel bad about it. We got one life. Do your creative ventures. Do what you need to do. Okay? Do it. Us creative folks, we need to have projects. We need to be creating things. We need to be making things. You know? That's important. We need to keep doing it. Some people are like that. I'm like that. I need to be able to create. And if I can't create, then it's not good. But we don't all have to be artists. We don't all have to be painters. We can be creative. We can be in touch with, nature. We're doing anything. Doing any occupation that we want to do. We could find it anywhere, really. There's this old story of this, monk in ancient China who achieved enlightenment and started, of course, as tradition would have it, making his way to the distant mountains. He was in a wretched city at the time. Making his way to the distant Tibetan mountains to live with the other monks in peace and solitude. And then it occurred to him, before he left the city walls, that it didn't matter where he was. Enlightenment came from inside of him, not the place he was at. And he turned back around. He said, it's not worth the time. I'm just as happy here. We can find our peace and our joy and our happiness anywhere we need to. Happiness comes from inside ourselves. Accepting our situation, being honest with ourselves, being aware. Let's start being aware of our feelings. Start thinking about them. It's very important. An unexamined life is not a life that I would want to live. Yes, you're doing things, you have a job, you have a life, but you also have an inner life, an inner world. ideas and emotions and thoughts. And some people are very unaware of themselves. They're afraid to examine their hearts. So they put on music and they distract themselves. They put on shows. They look at their phone all day long. And they never actually confront themselves. An unexamined life. That happens. That happened. And I'm saying this because that happened to me for many years. A life of distraction. A life that was unaware of itself. Not the kind of life I want to live. All right, I'm going to step back and kind of think about what to do next. This is fun and just exciting, and there's a lot of energy to this. All right, let's just clean up some of this area so I can have room to work. I should not have mixed my paint with such a big brush, but I was having fun. All right. Let's just clean up all this. Ooh, we can put this to the side. Really like that color. And we'll put this to the side too. Just all of that. Definitely use that later. Yeah, I'll clean this up too. What the heck. All right. What I want to do next is I want to work on these trunks, give them some more definition. And the way we do that is, check this out. We'll take some of this, just a little bit of yellow ochre added to it. There we go. Brighter. Let's try this color out, just as kind of an idea. Oh, nice. So every brush stroke that I'm doing from here on out on these limbs is sculpting, okay? Sculpting. Think about what that limb is doing. Put the brush strokes that way. Make sure there's some shape to it. There. Just think about the shape of that branch and put those colors in. And what's great is this paint is thick and there are little textures from the brush that are making it onto the canvas, and that will come through. That I'm making bark with this technique. Let's grab some yellow ochre here and add it to that. A little bit of white, not too much. There, a little bit lighter. Check this out. We don't want to get too light here, but just a little bit of this breaking on the edge here. See how delightful that is? That's fun. Let's do another part here. Just sort of breaking. Puts that one in front of that one. Simple, simple. And we can do this kind of the same thing on this one. Kind of make sure it looks behind that one. There. Lovely. And just some more texture. Just thinking about what's happening, three-dimensionality. Kind of the edges of these, the sun is wrapping around them, so it's darkest kind of in the middle of them. So we can kind of make this one stand out by going like that on that side. There. Just adding in all that little interest. And this happens so quickly. You can really start feeling like we're painting the thing very, very quickly. And people can make branches that look incredibly realistic. All the detail in the world. I like to do just enough where it's like, well, can you tell it's a branch? Okay. My work is done. Just barely enough work. It's kind of fun that way. Okay, let's add some more of this yellow ochre. I'm really liking that. A little bit of this white. A little bit of blue to it. More white. Yeah, have it grayed out. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay. Let's add some red to that. Yes. Okay. Let's add this here and there, just peeking through. Just make some of these lighter, you know. Sun's hitting some of them more, and the sun can be hitting parts, you know, and not others. Oh, nice. Just thinking bark thoughts, really. Just thinking thoughts about bark. Minimal work, though, you know. If we can do it with less work, we will. With this style, that's kind of fun. Okay, a little line right here. And right there. Very fun. From far away, I want this to feel real, and from close up, I want it to look interesting, like there's a lot of just, oh, okay, he did that. Those are some interesting marks, that kind of idea. Just a mixture of the two. All right, I have an idea. Let's grab this blue now, and we'll kind of make a sky color again. I want quite a bit of it, and we'll kind of match the sky color that we had earlier. A little bit of burnt sienna, yellow ochre, more of that Prussian. There. See it. That's close enough. That's good. Ooh, I like those little marks. We might do that in more spots here. All right, using this smaller brush, let's go through and start refining what was happening with the sky. We can make little smaller areas so we can really see, like, okay, that's where the sky is, that's where it's not. Going right up to some of these. Anything we don't go right up to, we will put leaves. Because we want to get rid of most of this orange. This orange is just a little background excitement. That's all it is. Kind of refining some of these. So we're just making puzzle pieces. If we want a leaf there, we don't put blue. And we keep a little bit of an exciting orange line around things with this method. Kind of going right up to some of these leaves that we painted. There. Fun. Very delightful. Extremely delightful. There, we can have a leaf there. Something like that. There. And some blue could be through there. Up here, let's refine some of these blue areas that we've put in. Oh, we'll add one there. So many times it's like I don't make a decision. Just to let you in on my head what's going on. You may work like this, you may not, but I don't really think. I turn off my mind. And it's like, oh, my hand made that decision. Great. So if we can just be in that mindset, that's good. Just set out a goal. Have some skill as an artist. I'm clumsy. I don't have a lot of skill. But I can kind of imagine what I want. Kind of turn off my mind and see it happen. To some degree. I think a lot of artists want that. Strive for it. Ooh, a lot of energy in this sky with these little marks. You know me, I always start doing these little marks. I get all excited and I go, whoa, Let's start doing all these little jaggedy marks. Why? I don't know. That's just fun. That's just delightful. Okay, let's do some more yellow. It's very interesting here. These two kind of very different colors. We don't want them to touch. Let's add some more yellow to this palette. And some yellow ochre. We need more of that. And some orange. Heck, we're running out of all of our colors here. So it is interesting in life. We're painting leaves. So you think, okay, well, you know, leaves. But in life, sometimes we forget the background. An artist doesn't forget the background. An artist knows that the background is just as important as the foreground. But that is why one of the reasons why I love art so much. I'm adding some orange to this, more yellow. I absolutely love this idea of the background and the foreground. Acknowledging both of them as an artist and saying they're both valuable, they're both important, they're both real. The space between them is real, you know. What makes the leaves be leaves is the very fact that the sky is so different. The sky behind them is so very different than the leaves. What makes these leaves have such interesting shape is the fact that the sky behind it doesn't have that. See that? Those two ideas create each other. We can't have one without the other. And I just love that with art. Realizing that in life, that there is no good without evil. There is no youth without old age. There's no happiness without sorrow. All of these have their reason for existence and their time and place. Life's ups and downs, you know. Comings and goings of happy times and sad times. They give each other their flavors. They exist because of each other. And a life spent completely in pursuit of one thing, of pleasure alone, you know, and I think that would be a boring life, you know, and that person would crave eventually pain. We need to see both sides of life. We need to have both. And art shows us that, you know, wakes us up to it. Humans aren't, you know, I'm not very smart. I need a reminder. So painting puts me into a mindset that helps my life, that improves my life. Helps me see life, I feel, in a clearer way. And if you're a painter, you might understand. Just painting or just creating. If you're a creator, you'll understand. That creating and being in that open place when you're creating it helps every part of your life. Even when you're not. Just when you're sitting there. Helps you see the world in a more accurate way, I really think, because you're looking at the foreground and the background. You're looking at the lighting. You're thinking about things on a different level. You know? So many times in life we get caught up on how much something is worth. So a painter could do that. I'm painting this because it's worth something. Now I'm painting this because right now I am loving it. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm learning. I'm thinking about the leaves. Thinking about that moment that I had looking at these. what that was like. I'm celebrating it. And this medium here is the best way for me to do it, I believe. Showing you my feelings on that matter. Other mediums, I do think, are best for different reasons. Music can really pierce our souls in a very non-verbal way, in an extremely deep way, immediately, effortlessly, just get us without any language. Music can do that. Painting, though, can also give us strong emotions. I feel like it's not probably as accurate as music can be. But it's still wonderful. Music probably is the greatest medium, the most unearthly, incredible, celestial medium humans have discovered. I'm thinking about, the greatest classical works, pure melody, unencumbered by lyrics, pure emotion. And that's just fun. And that's what life is. Life is a song. Life is a play. Life is a good joke with a great punchline. Life is a dance. You are. I mean, when I say life is, I mean you are too. You are an expiration date. You're a party. You're not the house that the party is at. You're the party. You're the party, not the house. A party starts and ends. Why? Why do you have a party? No, there's no reason for it. It's just fun, right? Have fun. To enjoy the fact that you're alive. Life is a party. What's the purpose of a tree? What's the meaning of a tree? There's no meaning. There's no meaning behind these branches. What's the meaning of it? What's the purpose? People want that, don't they? Well, what's the meaning behind it? Nothing. Just a tree. Be okay with that, and life becomes a lot easier. We don't have to have a purpose or a meaning behind everything. Sometimes maybe life itself is meaningless. That's a naughty word, though. People don't like to hear that. They don't want to think about life being meaningless. It's too scary. Too scary. And they think that's bad. Oh, that's not good. You mean life's meaningless? A lot of people don't like that when I say that. I mean it in the greatest way possible. Just like this. This is what I mean when I say life is meaningless. When you were a child and you were playing, what was the meaning behind that play? What was the purpose behind that play? You didn't have any, did you? You just wanted to have a good old time. You were lost in the moment when you were a child. And that's why you miss your childhood so darn much. That's why I do. And I feel like I've found it again. And the secret is being here. Being here. It gets hard. It gets harder and harder as we grow up to want to be here. We have to go through school. We have to sit there. We don't want to be there. Our mind starts wandering. Oh, I wish I was somewhere else. We have to do a lot of things in our lives we don't want to do. It starts putting us in a mindset of, I'm not happy now, but I'll just sit here and then later I'll find my life will start. Maybe tonight. Oh, maybe this weekend. What am I going to do? I'm going to do something fun. That'll be good. Then your stupid little party comes and goes and didn't make you any happier, did it? And then eventually you realize, you wake up and you go, wait a minute. My life is never going to come, is it? My life's never going to come. Never going to be here, is it? No. What do I do? What do I do? How do I live my life? Well, it's right now. Your life's right now. Not tomorrow. It's not that fun trip you're going to take later. It's right now. Tomorrow never comes. Just putting in some burnt umber here, just defining some of these fun little twigs, just giving some more attention and life to some of these areas. Darkening up some parts, adding some texture. But yeah, realizing, wait a minute, no, and then, sometimes that doesn't happen in your 20s. Sometimes it can't happen in your 20s, honestly. Sometimes it can, if you're very astute. Sometimes people, they never quite wake up to that. Ooh, I'm loving this. Let's just keep adding. Let's add some blue. Let's refine some of these areas a little bit more. It's okay for your life to be meaningless. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean there's important work to do? Well, okay. There's important work to do. Will anything you do matter in 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years? How about 1,000,000 years from now? Okay. No. Okay. Well, that's the kind of timeline we're talking about here in this universe. Okay? The hills themselves, the mountains themselves are shadows. As transient as the shadows passing, under a tree as the day goes by. The mountains and hills themselves are absolutely beholden to time, coming and going like a candle, a passing cloud. They themselves, the mountains, the earth itself, the universe itself. That's the kind of timeline we're talking about here. And you think life matters? I don't like that word, matters. What's the point? What's the purpose of life? When you start thinking, wait a minute, there doesn't have to be a purpose. Why am I painting this? To make money. No, I'm doing it just to do it. Let's put in the idea of a tree back here. Before we do that, though, let's just get some of this. Let's get some burnt sienna. Just make a little sketch here. Just a simple sketch. Just with this burnt sienna. Kind of something like that. Haphazard. Coming like that. Different values here. Let's have just a couple different simple values going on. We'll just make a camouflage kind of random pattern here. There. Now we can fill that in, make a tree. I hardly ever use it. I really don't use it very often, but let's use some sap green today. We're going to use a bunch of sap green. Let's add some burnt umber to sap green. Oh, that right there. I don't love the viscosity of sap green sometimes. Ooh, but that burnt umber really thickened it up. That's great. Add a little bit more to it. All right, let's just lay this in. Kind of dark. Just random patterns here. Random patterns of green. There. Just dark green, random little marks. And any part that we don't paint here with this dark color will come in with a lighter green next. That'll be fun. And we can kind of have it come through here all the way up to the blue. Kind of even bleeding in through here, sure. There. And put some here. Not thinking too much about it. It's in the corner. Let's let this tree, when I'm looking up at the leaves, I'm not looking at this. It's just kind of there, So let's let it just be kind of there. Not too much. Minimal thought on this. 2 colors. Just a tree in the background. All right. There. Some more down here, especially down here. There we go. Lovely. All right, let's add a bunch of yellow to it now. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. I love it. All right, let's just sort of put this in all the spots we didn't hit. See how easy that is? It's fun too. This way of painting is so fun. This paint feels like butter. It's just so enjoyable to use. I love putting down a lot of paint sometimes and just letting that texture just be the star of the show. That haphazard nature of it is what I like. Like I was saying earlier, the nature's random marks, the randomness of nature, the beautiful randomness of a mountain or cloud, you know? We're celebrating that here. We love it. Let it be random. And again, the way to do that is to shut off that mind. Just shut it off. Truly enjoy the moment here. When we're painting, that's the opportunity that we have. We can actually just enjoy the moment. And for me, talking like this is a way for me to do that. I love talking and painting. People wonder that, hey, you know, you're not in the moment, you're talking. Yeah, I am. Not thinking about what I'm going to say next. There's no prepared speech. Just talking. And it's I love it. It's my place where I just love to be. Love it. Some more yellow here. We're just using up all these colors just for the heck of it. Ooh, just really globbing that on. Just letting that color live here. Hopefully the idea of a tree is emerging. Just a little bit. Basic idea of a tree here. Maybe all the way. Yeah, that's probably good. There. A lot of energy there in that corner now. Some more down here. Really fill this in. See that? We just put in the dark marks and now we're putting this in and things are happening. Little things. Little marks. Kind of blending now here and there, just filling in all these orange areas that I see. And what's happening naturally is it's kind of blending a little bit, making a lot of other tones here kind of emerge. There. Fun, fun, fun. I love it. Love it, love it. What I want to do is I want to scrape off some paint here and there, not too much, just a little bit here and there. I want to put some of these very, very vibrant leaves kind of over some of this tree. So I'm just taking the paint off. See that? Take it off. Kind of have it be over this. Kind of really coming in here like that. There we go. But if I left this paint here and then tried to paint over it with this orange color, ooh, it would just be a disaster. Because oil paints, they build up. It's hard to paint on top of other ones without it smearing. So if you want some good, clean color separation, you got to just make sure there's no paint underneath that. Very minimal paint, very dry. There. Good, good, good. Okay, let's continue with some of these leaves. Let's put some of these in here. Let's put these in. Kind of see if this will work. Putting these down, just very thick. Oh, good. Fun. Put another color there. Nice. Let's do more yellow. Oh, so pretty. Some white here. Yellow. Mix those together. And a little bit of orange. And more yellow. Oh, that's pretty. And more yellow. Okay, let's keep doing this color. Just putting it in. And the texture matters, you know. The angle of the texture. Let's just go through and really kind of cover up more areas. We can cover up more of these twigs too, here and there. Just make it look like more leaves are poking through. More's happening. It's okay to go over other leaves if we have a new idea. Something can go on top of it. Especially if it's thicker. Very easy to just put paint on top of other paint if it's thick. Oh, that's great. Some through here. Just random marks and lines filling up these areas. Just less orange, you know? Less of this orange. Ooh, let's fill in this area over here. A lot of paint in the corner. These very different colors are so fun to put up against each other. Blues and oranges and yellows. You can't go wrong with those, can you? Can't go wrong with colors like that. They just really pop. Look great next to each other. Ooh, right here. Let's do a bright one kind of in front of this one. There we go. Ooh, right here we could do kind of a thicker one. There. Random, haphazard nature. Just putting these in quickly. Oh, loving that. But thinking about this image in my mind like all week, just stewing over it, loving it. I'm so happy to finally be painting it. Let's do some more kind of without paint thinner. Let's just do some more of this burnt sienna. Just more twigs and kind of darker areas and little outlines to things. I'm going to do a slightly smaller brush Just want to do these little outlines. Just darker areas where we can kind of define some of these shapes. Just dipping into that over and over again. Getting some more very thick paint. It's just going to go right down on some of these areas. There. Might figure that out later here. Little details. Kind of outlines of some of these leaves. Just adding some more randomness. There. Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm loving this painting. Very loose, fun feel. Just very enjoyable to paint. Very simple idea. Sometimes these very simple paintings are just so easy. And so again, that's why this would be a good first painting for somebody. Oh, wonderful. Different sizes, different shapes. We can kind of go into this blue here and there with some dark marks going into them. Okay. Loving these darker marks here. Very fun. Ooh, let's do that. Let's do kind of like these little twirls just here and there, especially up here. Just defining some of these edges of things. Ooh, let's do it to this one here. There we go. Right down here. Good. That's fun. I have an idea. I want to put in some lighter leaves. So let's grab some more white and yellow. I'm going to put a bunch of white right here. Let's put a bunch of super bright leaves all over this darn thing, you know? And bright. So we're going to grab some yellow, mix in all this white. I just want a bright yellow. Oh, that's it. Let's put it through here. Oh, look at that. Just brighten up some of these. The sun is really hitting some of these. And we can really distribute this much more generously. The lighter colors can be very thick. Looks good that way. I want some bright colors right through here and right here. There we go. Wiping off my brush periodically. Just randomly, let's put in where the sun is really hitting. These are just really intense, just direct sun, no leaves between them and the sun. They are just fully getting hit by that beautiful sun. That's great. Up here. Man, ever since I was a little boy, you know, just this feeling of putting on this oil paint onto a canvas has just been so exciting for me. Started painting when I was 11 or 12 years old and then stopped for many years. I became an adult, became a cinematographer, started shooting TV commercials, and sort of forgot about my love of painting for many years, making money. And I realized again, man, this is what I love to do. It's just my true passion in life. And if you have an opportunity to do, your passion for your job, you should take it. That's a wonderful thing. It's good to do what you love with your time. In fact, when you get to do with what you love with your time, you get good at it. You get good enough where people will eventually pay you for it. So do what you love with your time. And eventually your life will look the way you want it to. Just do what you love with your time as much as you can. Start off small. Start trying to fill your life with moments that you're like, yep, I'm good at that. I like it. Let's do more of that. All right. Through here. Just a lot brighter, just punchy. Vibrant, bright spots. Doesn't really matter where we do it, as long as it's kind of feeling right, feeling random. Some of these marks. So fun. Oh, let's put a lot right through there. Ooh. Just delightful. Ooh, let's do this. Let's sort of wipe that off. Keep going. Let's do some bright spots up here, right through here. Right by this blue. Random little marks, but it's starting to feel, like that day did for me. Starting to give me that feeling. Oh. Just fun, just delightful. If you're not enjoying painting because you don't like what you're painting, try to turn that part of your mind off. Just try. Ooh, let's make this guy bright. Try to turn that part of your mind off when you're painting about what it looks like. Many times I keep a positive attitude. I think, it doesn't look the way I want to yet, but it will. And I don't even think that way. I just think about, what's happening? Oh, I love this mark. Let's do this little part that I love. Let's do that little part that I love. Each little part. Let's cover up this here and there. Let's put one here too. Let's add some orange to this. Make an orange version. Bunch of white to it. Ooh, fun. Bunch of blue is in that. We can go with that. Let's just change it up. Add some red to it. More yellow. Ooh, let's add a bunch of yellow ochre. Nice. Let's put this color around. Just sort of between areas, Since we did that lighter area, now we can put in some darker areas. There. Some areas the sun doesn't shine through, some areas it does. There's just different colors that emerge. Man, that paint is thick. Putting down a lot of paint. It's very, very impasto. Heavy impasto painting here. Let's get more of this white. Let's do some more bright parts. Yellow. Yellow and white. Kind of running out of room on this palette. Shoot. There we go. Vibrant yellow. Let's put it over that. Sure. Let's make a leaf kind of over this. There. Ooh, let's outline it with a little bit of this. Burnt sienna. Just different ideas. Let's do some more of these. More bright parts. Just becoming more haphazard as we go on. Random. Putting this over some orange parts, covering up some of that orange. Let's put a leaf right here. And we can put one right here, kind of in front of that. And a few through here. I'm going to step back and take a look at our progress here. Stepping back, I decided that I really want to work on the sky more. I just want there to be a lot more energy, a lot more little marks. So let's go ahead and try to accomplish that. Let's take this old brush and take some Prussian. We'll put that there. Some white. Mix that together. I want to have a lighter version of this blue. Let's make a lot of this. Let's grab more white and more Prussian. I want to just have some excitement here. Little marks, energy. The sky is alive more. So just slightly lighter than what we had before. So that way it can kind of stand out. And let's tone it down. Take away a lot of that saturation. A lot of it. Let's add even more of that orange. Just really taking away that blue. All right, let's try this. Let's just try some marks. Okay, that's what I'm after. Okay, let's start with this. Just these little marks first. Kind of like this. So why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because this is how I feel like it felt. This is fun. Movement, and I want to have some sort of swooping feel to keep our interest here. But I think this might convey more of that feeling that I'm after. So how do I know when I'm done? When I've captured that feeling that I'm after? And if that's not there, then I'm going to keep working on it. Oh, that's fun. Trying to decide what to do, just feeling it out. It'll come. It'll come. I'm just liking this. This is a lot of fun. Just kind of like that. Just these little marks. I've said before that painting for me is performative. An internal performance. Am I connecting with what I'm doing? Am I feeling the brush? Am I present? Am I present? That's the art. That's the art itself. That is the treasure. That is the goal. That is the point of painting. That moment when you've lost everything and you're just in another world. Let go. Handed over your creativity to that something else, bigger than you. You've just plugged into it, connected with it. You're not on your own, and you're not just making a bunch of little decisions with your brain. You're just shutting off that brain and kind of plugging in. And this slightly lighter blue is really showing up here against the slightly darker, more saturated blue. That's fun. Going through some of these areas here, adding life to some of these parts. Let's add some through here, see what that's like. Nice. Just adding random marks through there. We can take this blue and add some more blue parts where the sky's coming through here. There. All right. Just adding more variety and personality into each one of these little areas. Just another note here. Okay. We'll keep working on this. Let's mix up a slightly different blue. All right, I like that. A little bit, just even more gray and lighter. There. Now we can add even more life and personality. I want it to feel like these leaves are moving in the wind. There's movement here. There's a life happening. There's a whole... there's a whole tree going on here. I want that movement to be conveyed. So let's follow the kind of the contours of the edges here. Kind of magnifying them. The leaf is moving a little bit. There. These little brush marks matter to me. It's kind of where my focus is most of the time. There we go. Just adding life and excitement into the sky. Each one of these little sections, these little puzzle pieces, I love the difference here, These two worlds that these colors inhabit. The space between them and their differences. I learned recently that no matter how hard we try, the scientists, the really smart ones among us, they can make a vacuum, but it can't be perfect. Little guys, little teeny tiny microscopic atom guys will pop up into existence and then go out again very, very quickly, even in a space where we've made nothing exist. The universe wants to exist everywhere, and it will not allow there to be a vacuum that's completely empty. Little particles will arrive and disappear. It's crazy. The universe is a very mysterious place. There's a lot to know. There's a lot to learn. It's exciting. You know, that's probably the peak of creativity. Some of these scientific discoveries that are made. Man, to be one of those humans, to be able to discover something that would change history forever. Some of these scientific discoveries. That is creativity. And to really do that, these people that have discovered these things, Einstein, he would go into his mind. He would just enter his imagination, turn off his critical mind and enter that kind of vast collective mind of nature, you know, and he would imagine what it would be like to go at the speed of light and things. That's where his discoveries came from. The same place that I always talk about. It's hard to put into words, but it's not the critical decision-making mind. It's not the busy mind, the judgmental mind. It's a different kind of thinking that we access. It's what I'm always talking about, and it's where all this creativity comes from. Creative people understand this is how it works. It's not you. You're kind of just giving up. You're letting yourself go, and you're giving in to that thing. Just say, hey, take over. Take over here. And that's what creative people are able to do. It's why they're able to do what they do. It's not as, there is skill. But like I've said, don't think that just because you don't have artistic skill, that doesn't mean you're an artist. You don't have to have any skill to be an artist. That's not what it's about. Being an artist is about your mindset. First of all, saying that you're an artist. Going around saying, artist. I'm an artist. Takes a crazy special person to do that in and of itself. But then to be able to really give in and to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to let nature take control here. That's what an artist does. They like that. It's a good place to be in mentally. It's fun. It's the flow state, pretty much. I don't like to call it that because it cheapens it, though. It's life itself. Creativity is life itself. Losing yourself in a task or something that you're doing, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do. To look at your watch and to say, wow, look at all that time. It flew by. Okay, I'm going to step back and kind of look at our progress here. Okay, next I'm going to grab some of this dioxazine purple. I want to make a very, very dark color for some of these limbs. I want to push them back, make them darker. So we're going to take some of this purple, some of this burnt umber. Ooh, look at that. Mix those together. A little bit of green was there too on my brush, just accidentally. Let's take some of this Prussian, mix that in, more of this purple, more Prussian. There we go. Okay, that should be pretty dark. I want this to kind of, like, for example, this limb here. I want to see what happens. Okay, good. Let's darken him up. Let's make him darker. Really make him kind of more in the shade here. There. I think that helps. Nice. Sometimes when I step back, these are the things that I notice. I go, hey, you know what? That could be improved. That could be changed. But then when I step back and I begin painting again, I try to turn off that critical mind. I save that for when I step back. so that doesn't consume me. It's not always, oh, what do I do? I just turn that off and then I work. And then I go back and I think, what do I want? And those things are accomplished. Sometimes not. Sometimes I have to think, oh yeah, I didn't do that thing I wanted. But I like that way of working. I think that's good. When we are painting, we're not being critical. We're not constantly going into that critical state. We can go into that creative state for a long time and stay there. Nice. Just trying to add some character here, some three-dimensionality, and oh, that's fun. I like these little marks. Just imagining what this would be like, what the texture is like, each little limb. Oh, that's fun. Very fun. Okay. And now let's do this one. Let's make this one a little bit darker. Add some more shape to it. Darken this up right through here. There we go. What a delightful little limb. Let's do that. Let's add a slightly lighter color and we can add some shape here. There. Slightly lighter through here. There we go. I can make this darker right up to here. But I want to keep a little bit of that orange in between them. There. And on this side, darken that up. There we go. And this guy, let's make this guy a little bit darker through here and have more texture. There. Kind of coming down this way. Beautiful. Really liking that. Let's get a slightly lighter kind of brown going on these kind of ones. These are pushed back. Now we can push this one forward by putting some lighter colors on it. Really separate these ideas. Give them a lot of space to be their own thing, live in their own world, one in front of the other. This one too. Let's make this one brighter. It's coming towards us a little bit more. Can use that as kind of an idea that, okay, if it's brighter, it's coming towards us more. Okay. A little bit of white to that. Fun. Very delightful. Let's take some of this blue. I kind of want to go up to some of these areas. Kind of give some sky right through here. Okay. And some sky right here. And there. Great. Let's make this a lot brighter right through here. Grab some of this yellow ochre from over there, some of this burnt sienna. Just something pretty bright, catching the light a little bit. Just right through here, just kind of like that. And this right through here. There we go. And a little bit more. We can make this kind of catching the light. There. And right through here. And we can put some darker spots too through here. Fun. Let's really help this guy show up more. Let's make this a little bit brighter right through here. Just kind of on top of this other one. Ooh, add some texture to that. That was quite a bit of paint. Nice. That helps that. Okay, I'm going to step back. What I want to do now is I want to add some more leaves coming into this green section. So I want to take away some more of this paint. So just like this, taking it away, wiping my brush, kind of creating an idea where a leaf could be. Let's do another one coming kind of like this up here. Ooh. Take all that away. Just putting it onto my paper towel here. This is kind of a nice way to show you how we can change our mind here and how this works when we do so. There. That'll be nice, having those kind of coming into that area here. And maybe even another one. Let's... That might be good. Well, let's just do one more. Like that. So we can put down our background and we can just kind of take away areas and add more. Okay, taking this white, let's add it to this yellow and just make a bunch of yellow, bright yellow paint. Bright yellow. Let's add some of this to it. Tone it down a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's come up here and just sort of, let's start on this one. See what we got. Ooh, I like it. Okay. All right, let's add some through here. Some of these very thick. A lot of personality on these leaves. Close to us, you know. But this will be good. It really pushes that tree back. Obviously overlapping that distant kind of greenery behind it. So that helps. Let's do this one up here, and then we'll do that one down there, a slightly different color. A lot of paint, though. That's fun. Just impasto. Thick. Texture. Half. Think of it like sculpture. You know? Okay. Fun. Let's do a slightly brighter version of that. We can do this leaf here. There. Okay. Now we can take this color. I want to do more bright kind of leaves. Kind of want to make more of these leaf shapes. A little bit more prominent, you know? Just like, let's turn some of these into like more basic, just bigger leaf shapes. Oh, mixed with that blue a little bit. I'm going to take some of this paint off here, kind of reassess this area. There. Put that back. Bunch of that yellow paint. Fun. And let's make this one kind of more just a normal leaf. There. And this one down here. Let's kind of make this one look just like a bright, normal, kind of a twisty leaf. The end here. Love it. Could do this one here. A lot of paint. Excellent, excellent. And through here, let's do a big one. Mostly with these brush strokes, just applying big area there. Something there. Okay. Let's try to do a little bit more white. Let's do some lighter sky. Just a little bit. Even more white added to this blue here. Even brighter. And some yellow. Let's teal it up. There we go. Okay, let's try this. Oh, let's add some more Prussian. Bring it down. And some more yellow. And some more white. Bring it back up. A lot of it. I love doing a lot of paint, you know. Okay, let's try this kind of teal color. Just kind of start putting it into the sky. Ooh, I'm liking that teal. Let's do a bunch of little marks with it. Kind of just tracing the outline of these things that we see. There. Giving them energy. There. See, having all these different kinds of blue on top of each other adds a lot, you know, a lot of ideas all working together. There. Just tapping it. That's the way we get all that paint off, you know. With this technique. Just barely, too, to let it really fall off the brush. That's kind of how you do it. Nice. So much fun to do this. So satisfying seeing these different colors on top of each other. And the slight yellow and this teal. It's bringing it this way, you know. Underneath it's more purple. And then pulling the blue this way, kind of adding all of those layers of excitement. And just think, if we would have just done one color of blue, you know, wouldn't have looked as exciting. And I've noticed in nature with my eyes, around leaves and stuff, it does become a deeper blue with twigs and things. But the edges of leaves, even the sky is a little bit deeper right next to it. So I kind of want to allude to that. Kind of messing up the sky here, making it a little bit more haphazard than it is. Some of these areas. Oh, fun. All the way to the base here. Slightly lighter at the base of this picture because of the horizon, which is much lower than us, but this would be like the more at the top, the middle of the sky, which would be the bluest. Okay, there we go. And then we'll add some more through here, kind of in the middle. Kind of having that pattern I've kind of decided on. Kind of a sideways swooping motion for the sky. I think that'll work. Okay. And up here, that same sideways swooping motion. I kind of like that sometimes, to decide on a certain angle for certain elements of the image, or a certain color, certain angle of brushstroke. And sometimes it doesn't come to me, you know. Sometimes you have to find that as you go, develop it. There. Gotta step back and look at the progress. I know what we need. We need a lot more very, very, very bright paint. Just super bright. Yellow, bright yellow. And move these kind of over here. Oh! I think I might have painted my hair. That brush, or that palette knife is history. I guess I was a little bit too tough with it. I'm gonna go see if I've painted my hair, and I'll be right back. All right, a bunch of white, cadmium yellow. We want like a super, super bright yellow here. That's just like the brightest thing in this picture. There. Some more yellow. There we go. That's what we want. Super bright. Okay. We're going to take this almost unmixed, you know. We're going to make some big leaves up here. Some big ones. I want one right here. Just on top of things, you know? It's like, heck. Let's just put a whole new giant leaf right here. Big one. Kind of over things. Kind of just going over everything. That is fun. This thing's going to take like 2 years to fully dry. Love it. A little bit more yellow. Oop, not that much. Okay, let's make another one. Let's make this one, at least part of it, extremely bright. There. And some of these other ones down here, like this one. Part of it very bright. Okay. Right here, let's put a big one kind of right here. There. Okay. Let's put another big one right in front of things, right here. Right on top of these things. Just kind of extra bright, new leaves. And they're extra textured, which makes them really pop even more, you know? Kind of toning this one down just a touch. There. Okay, now up here we can put more. Well, let's do another one right here, just on top of things. Just see, it's kind of like sculpture. It's fun, huh? There. And so much paint here. Ooh, let's do a big one right here. Just a big, bright one. Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh, let's make this one big. See this last step here with all this paint, we can just do whatever we want. Okay. Let's do a big one right here. Right on top of this area. Oh, look at that. It just makes them pop just right into the foreground. Boom, boom, boom. Brings them like another layer, you know? That's fun. Okay. Let's do, you know what? Let's do one right through here. There. Kind of like that. Okay, we can do a big one right about, right about here. That's a good spot for one. And one right next to it. Kind of like this. There. Okay, we can do one kind of right here. And then here. Maybe one that's twisted and kind of different right there. Okay. All right, let's do some more down here. Let's do another one like right on top of this. There we go. Okay. And one right there, why not? All right, let's take this burnt sienna and sort of just on some of these leaves, make a little bit of a, check this out. Just some of them, not too many of them. Just a little bit of a, just an idea of a, there. See, a little bit of angular idea where they're not so rounded. There. Just angle some of these guys. And I will admit that this came to me. I was painting a while back ago before the show started, and I was having trouble with my leaves, and then I was looking through a book with Van Gogh paintings, and I noticed his leaves, and I was like, ooh. He kind of would do that angular effect. And I was like, oh, I love that. That's why I love his leaves, because I kind of feel that way when I see them. It just seems honest. It just works. So many times when I'm out in nature, I see things. I'm like, yep, that's a Van Gogh picture right there. That's the way he saw it. Okay. And we can do some other kind of bigger areas with this kind of darker color. Sort of put in some other ideas, another layer of leaves. There we go. These will really offset some of these that we've done. Put one there. And put one right here. And there. Just some bigger marks, some bigger areas. Let's put a big one right here just on top of these. Another one there. And ooh, let's put something right here big. Being featured. That's good. And another one right there. Man, that color goes on easy. That goes on really easy. Ooh, another one there. Some of these colors just glide right on. It's beautiful. Hey, this was a lot of fun. And thank you for being here with me. And I think this is what I felt, you know? That energy, looking up into the sky and seeing the sun just coming through these leaves. So with that, I'll see you next time. And again, oh, here are the colors we started with. See, those were the Home Depot colors we had. Kind of similar. Hey, live your life. Don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt anybody else. Besides that, follow your heart. Do what you want to do. You want to make weird music? You want to take weird photos? You want to make weird paintings? You want to make things out of cardboard or clay? Whatever you want to do, do it. You only got one life. Do what you want.